Good morning, I'm Wendy Burke, and this is the CBC Morning Report for Monday, December 11th. In our top story, Barbados is being lined up for major investment by U.S.-based businessmen. Professionals from all walks of life, private equity, commercial real estate, arts and culture from across the U.S. and the region are on an advance convoy to Barbados. It began on Friday and ends today. Joining us live to discuss the opportunities are Patrick Howell, the chairperson of the Caribbean Community of Venture Capitalists, Christopher Brown, the CEO of Buckler Group, and Mr. Alviano Stinson, the CEO of Polaris and Crooks. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Firstly, Mr. Howell, as chairman of the CVCC, tell us something about the aims of this convoy.
I would ask you to repeat your question, but I couldn't hear it too clearly because I had another call coming on the other line. But I believe the question was to talk a little bit about the envoy and what it is.
Yes, about the convoy, yes, and the aims of it.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you and CDC this morning for the opportunity to be able to sit there and speak Caribbean from CCVC, which is an acronym for Caribbean Community of Venture Capitalists. We formed our group a brief time ago just for the purposes of basically creating capital formation inside of the diaspora internationally. So, obviously Barbados is ahead of the game in thought leadership, finance, commerce, and creating that platform already. We would like to complement that in terms of the wider diaspora. And we've had an excellent opportunity introduced to commerce through various ministries, housing, banking officials, and whatnot throughout the Caribbean in our time here. And it's really been eye-opening to be in Barbados. I was here 20 years ago, and the Barbados that existed 20 years ago is no longer exist. What we have here is an international city of thought leadership, something that I would imagine similar to Japan in the Southeast Pacific Asia, where you have a little country that is responsible for an outsized production of Hondas, Toyotas, Subarus. And I think that we're at the beginning stages of that inside of Barbados. And it's extraordinarily inspirational because people more often than not associate Barbados with being a place for tourism. And really, it's a center of thought leadership. And it is a center of business happenings, finance, capital market formation inside of the Caribbean.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, Mr. Brown, if you can tell us about the Buckler Group and why you chose Barbados.
Oh, Barbados, I believe it's the Davos of the Caribbean, and it is the seed of the future of investment and business. So the future of us. And we're here to really expand in that vision, to really build and, really lessen the gap between the diaspora and the mainland Barbados. So you're going to see what's rolling out very soon is, private equity, real estate private equity investments, and also real estate development that's going to be happening very soon throughout Barbados. So you'll be hearing much more about that in the very near future.
Okay, and if I can go to Mr. Stinson now, what business opportunities are you looking to set up here in Barbados?
Wendy, thank you very much for having us on this morning. First, I want to express our gratitude for the fruit of Barbados, its people, who have been so generous to us throughout our entire advanced business convoy, giving of their time and their wisdom to prepare us for growing our businesses in this island nation. So I'd like to start off with that. Opportunities that we are looking at affordable housing. We are looking at social clubs with hospitality aspects to them. So hotels, restaurants, but we want to be able to not only take from the island, but we want to be able to give back to the island through affordable housing, through mixed income housing, and through positive catalytic development.
Okay, what timelines are we working with, gentlemen, in terms of getting all of this done and when you want to get your actual businesses up and running here?
Well, we had a senior, if you don't mind my taking a stab at it, and then Mr. Brown, I'd like to converge. We had a conversation with a senior investor yesterday. We created a 10-year horizon for ourselves, and he said that we had to take that down to 5, and I took that pretty seriously. So from our end of it, there's some very specific initiatives that will take place within the next year in 2024, but we're thinking about a horizon of 5 years for some of the larger things that we have planned.
Okay. Yes, sir. If I can hear
Absolutely.
from you now, Mr. Stinson.
Oh, and absolutely. And one thing that we really want to touch upon is that it is not just about us as investors coming in. We want to be able to catalyze impact, and impact comes along with the youth and the entrepreneurs who are the future of this nation. And that is why we're here. And that is what we're going to ultimately be putting the money that comes from abroad into Barbados, into the youth, into the entrepreneurs, into employment, to be able to really catalyze impact through connection, through gainful employment, through housing, and through hospitality.
Okay, and finally, Mr. Howell, I understand you're finishing up today. So what's the wrap-up going to be like? What are we looking to do today?
Well, we're looking to the opportunity. First of all, we're starting our day with you, and it's quite early, and it's quite a brilliant way to start the day. But we'll be meeting with the CEO of Invest Barbados later on today, and then it's been arranged for us to have a real estate tour of, I believe, luxury real estate throughout the island. But we are very excited to also express, in case people don't understand what CCVC is all about, Caribbean Community of Venture Capitalists, it is a group that is dedicated to business incubation and incubating businesses. So not only financing businesses, but also giving them the opportunity for a global network and global impact versus just the Caribbean. We realize that there are brilliant minds here, extraordinarily well educated, that are world class, and the world needs those minds at this time and point in juncture in history to be able to shepherd and guide it into its next business evolution. And we believe that that's starting inside of Barbados. But to talk about the next 12 months specifically, we're looking to have an event in June that will be will be vague as of right now as to what it's being titled, but to talk about bringing in accredited and institutional investors into the Caribbean to tour 4 island states, including Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana, and the Bahamas. We see the diaspora as one, and we also see the Caribbean community as being one body. And we're looking forward to bringing those events and exploring thought leadership, commerce, capital market formation, oil and gas and sustainability, and the outsized leadership role that the Caribbean and the Caribbean region will be taking inside of the world for the forthcoming year. I hope I answered your question.
Yes. I want to thank you, gentlemen, all, and thank you for choosing Barbados. And here's hoping that you have a successful business trip. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you so much, Wendy.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Coming up on the CBC Morning Report, the Doha Forum pushes for another ceasefire in Gaza. Palestinian activists and grassroots organizations have called for a global strike today to demand an immediate ceasefire as Israel continues its aggression on Gaza. Meanwhile, at the ongoing 21st Doha Forum in Qatar, the Qatari Prime Minister said he will continue to pressure both sides into another ceasefire.
The Doha Forum is where world leaders talk politics, security, economic cooperation, technology and environmental challenges. But this year, it's Gaza dominating the agenda. Qatar's Prime Minister criticized international institutions for showing double standards and failing to act. He told the forum,
حجم الفجوة بين الشرق والغرب.
This crisis highlighted the great gap between East and West and between the various generations, and highlighted the double standards in the international community. The world actually was split between some who called for putting an end to this war and putting an end to the war machine, and some who were hesitating to call even for a ceasefire.
A top Arab delegation has been in the United States aiming to build consensus for a truce. But that move's been undermined by the US veto on a UN Security Council draft resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire.
The situation is fast deteriorating into a catastrophe with potentially irreversible implications for Palestinians as a whole and for peace and security in the region.
As the US's credibility suffers huge damage among Arabs and Muslims, its arch rival Russia is stepping in.
We strongly condemned the terrorist attack against Israel on the 7th of October, like we condemn any terrorist attack. At the same time, we do not believe it's acceptable to use this event for collective punishment of the millions of Palestinian people.
For now, Israel insists it won't halt its bombardment despite warnings from key regional allies.
What we see in Gaza is not simply the killing of innocent people, the destruction of their livelihoods, but we are seeing a systematic effort, it seems, to empty Gaza from its people.
The Palestinian Prime Minister said the only way out is a comprehensive solution that would lead to the establishment of a Palestinian state.
The United States has never put together a specific implementation mechanism of how to achieve the two-state solution. It is not enough to talk about two-state solution.
The Doha Forum honored the work of the UN's refugee agency in Gaza. Its chief, Filippo Lazzarini, told the gathering an effective dehumanization of Palestinians is why there's international silence as Israel continues its attacks. The war in Gaza is a test for international institutions. It has exposed what many perceive to be global failure to stop Israel's relentless bombardment and the killing of women and children. Those here taking part in the Doha Forum say the international order should be reformed so that those who feel abandoned have a say.
West African leaders met in Nigeria's capital yesterday for talks on the region's deepening crisis after 4 countries fell under military rule. After coups in Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea and Niger since 2020, the Economic Community of West African States of ECOWAS saw member states and Sierra Leone and Guinea-Bissau report attempted coups in recent weeks.
The decision by the Economic Community of West African States to send 3 leaders from the regional bloc to Niger is to negotiate a shorter transition timetable with the military junta there. And this is the first sign that probably ECOWAS is softening its hard position. Remember, the organization in the early days of the coup threatened to take military action to chase out the military junta out of power and sort of release Mohamed Bazoum, the deposed president, from captivity. Now, throughout the session here, there was that sense of near panic among African leaders, West African leaders. The reason is because of the way ECOWAS is gradually losing its steam and its way of dealing with situations in the region in particular. Now, the Americans have offered to help mediate the crisis with the presence of the United States Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs. They offered to mediate between the organization and to resolve the crisis in Niger Republic. Now, that sense of panic results from the recent formation of a new regional organization or alliance between 3 countries that are involved in military coups, where unconstitutional, what ECOWAS call unconstitutional change of government. These are the countries of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. And this has come up during the discussion at this summit.
The Francophone pushback alliance appears intended to divert our attention from our mutual belief for democracy and good governance that will impact the lives of our people. We refuse to be detracted from pursuing the collective dreams, aspirations, and the noble path of ECOWAS.
some African leaders believe, West African leaders believe, that this new alliance poses a serious threat to the corporate existence of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS.
Time to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. We'll get to talk to one of our master athletes, Merl Jordan. We'll hear what she's been up to in South Africa. You, our viewers, can get a chance to win for Christmas, and we'll also tell you about Ashley Lashley and her Hug for Hope initiative. More news, sports, and weather after the break. The Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation's week of activities for its 60th anniversary celebrations began yesterday with the news that it's preparing to roll out a new e-commerce platform. The announcement was made during the church service at the St. Peter Parish Church, which kicked off the week. Sharika Griffith reports.
December 15th, 2023 marks 60 years the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation has been serving Barbadians. To mark the milestone, the CBC has commenced a week of activities, beginning with a Thanksgiving service. The congregation included current and former staffers, as well as members of the wider CBC family. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs and Information, Yvette Goddard, delivered remarks on behalf of Minister Wilfred Abrams, who is on duty leave. In a statement, he said CBC continues to be an integral part of the Barbadian and regional landscape,
as it not only embodies the purpose of radio and television, which is to inform, educate, and entertain, but has demonstrated its heart and true purpose in the way it has loved, shared, and cared for its community over the last 60 years. It is this spirit of community that has kept CBC relevant for the last 6 decades. And the finest example of this commitment is the weekly Q in the Community event, which provides an outlet for the more mature in our society and contributes to seniors' physical and mental well-being in a way no medication can.
And as the corporation plans for the future, it will be embracing greater use of technology.
Going forward, CBC will expand its social media footprint to reach an even larger audience, while allowing for business transactions on our soon-to-be-completed e-commerce platform. Lots more is coming, so stay tuned. Of course, there has been talk about changes to come at CBC. Change is necessary. It is part of growth and development. But any change coming will be designed to maintain the integrity of CBC while ensuring the public interest is maintained.
In his sermon, Rector Canon Peter Haynes thanked the corporation for its contribution over the last 60 years, even as he called on it to continue on the path of nation building.
It is not just the development of bang, bang, bang on the radios today, but development of culture, development of programming which enlightens God's people, which tells us there's an alternative to what is happening around the world. There's an alternative to what is happening in our neighbors around us, in the big countries and the big cities, that there are alternatives and that we have something to offer, that we have something to give to God's people. and to recognize that you don't minister just to us here as Barbadians, but how many people across the world are on YouTube and Wi-Fi listening to your programming.
As part of the week of activities, a number of iconic news anchors will be presenting CBC Newsnight. There are also plans for an employee recognition and award ceremony. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
There's a plan underway to tackle the problem of dangerous and reckless motorbiking in Barbados. It involves the development of an off-road track for riders. Minister in the Office of the Attorney General with responsibility for crime, Corey Lane, addressed the issue at the National Peace Program Aftercare program. He believes it is another area for Barbados to grow as a sports destination while providing an outlet for bikers who can go on to represent Barbados in international competitions.
One of the challenges we got in Barbados is we got these fellas with bikes on the road. You know, really in the air, you know, this table know about that. Because the bikes want to light up like Christmas trees, right? And they know, but there's a legal problem and there's a nuisance to vehicles. Off-road vehicles belong off-road, man. So what we're going to do is to make sure that not only you provide the mechanism, but that you have the outlet, the modules, and so on, so that it makes sense. Because it is a skill that we can export. It is a skill that we can use in the X Games across Barbados.
Mr. Lane says he has been updated on what's needed to get such a project off the ground, and they will now proceed to the next stage.
I asked some people for the information. Months the information ain't coming. I asked them last week, Friday, and this Friday they presented to me the list of bikes you need, the list of the replacement parts, the place where you get them from, where they got coming from, the shipping, and the cost. So now we can move forward. So I thank them, and I think you all should thank them as well.
There's concern from Trinidad and Tobago's opposition leader, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, that the threatened land grab by Venezuela of Guyana's Essequibo may one day happen to that country. She is standing with Guyana in the ongoing border dispute. Tobago Updates reports.
According to reports, President Nicolas Maduro gave Venezuelan businesses the authorization to start exploring the Guyana-owned Essequibo area. In a referendum on Sunday, the nation voted decisively in favor of the change. Subsequently, Kamla Persad-Bissessar issued a warning on the potential of Trinidad and Tobago being in Guyana's position in the future. The head of the opposition is warning Trinidad and Tobago's central government not to allow Venezuela to use the money from the upcoming Dragon Gas agreement against Guyana. According to the UNC leader, the money might be used to militarize Venezuela against Guyana. Persad-Bissessar promised the people of Guyana her party's support as well as her own, and she insisted that the nation do likewise.
In sports, it was a hat-trick of wins for defending champion Alex Akesa of Kenya after another dominant display in the Run Barbados Marathon held on the East Coast yesterday. 42-year-old Akesa, who was at the top of the podium in 2019 and 2022, returned for the 40th edition this year, crossing the finish line at Barclays Park St. Andrew in 2 hours, 35 minutes and 52 seconds among a field of 69 athletes. Brian Morseman of the USA finished second in 2 hours, 38 minutes, 17 seconds, and Vega Lagos third in 3 hours, 10 minutes, 29 seconds. The final day started at 5:30 a.m. and consisted of the marathon, half marathon, and 5K walk. Marathon runners completed 2 laps of the half marathon course set out along the Ermeybourne Highway. Akesa, who was also second in the 10K the day before, was full of praise for the organizers.
Expected a lot from me, having won and defended my title for the 3rd time. It's such a great, momentous time for me again to be back and actually having to win this race again in 3 times in a row. Coming here, I came here for serious business. I wasn't coming here for any mediocre kind of work. So from the start, I knew that I had to give my best because there is no any other opportunity like today.
The top female finisher in the marathon was Felix Harry Mariantoso of Martinique, who stopped the clock in 3 hours and 16 minutes. It was also a dominant performance from Nicholas Romani of Trinidad and Tobago, who won Friday's Fun Mile at the Garrison Savannah, the 10K and the half marathon, both staged on the East Coast. Elvis Turner of TNT was third and second was Darren Matthews of Barbados. The women's half marathon champion was Katie Parker of Barbados. That's today's morning report. Or next news. I'm sorry, the weather. I'm getting ahead of myself here. It's time now for our weather news. The present pressure is 1010.8 millibars with the temperature at 24.5 degrees Celsius. The humidity stands at 96% and the wind is coming from the east-northeast. The wind 21 kilometers per hour. The present weather conditions, cloudy. The seas are moderate and open water with swells ranging from 1.5 to 2.5 meters and decreasing. Small craft operators and sea bathers should exercise caution today. High tide was at 2:56 a.m. and the second high tide will be at 2:28 p.m. Low tide will be at 8:05 a.m. this morning and the second low tide at 9:01 p.m. The forecast, a mix of sunshine and clouds with occasional brief scattered light showers. And tonight will be a mix of clear skies and clouds with a few brief isolated light showers. And that's our morning report. Up next will be Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you. It is Monday, December 11th, and I'm Wendy Burke with your Morning Barbados. This morning, we are going to be having lots of fun. We're going to be talking athletics. We're going to be talking music. We are going to be talking Christmas as well. Our first guest this morning is an athlete. We'll find out what happened with her in South Africa. You know, we spoke about Africa earlier this morning and all that is going on. We had the African win or Run Barbados. Congrats to you. And we're going to be hearing from us. You know, if they're coming to our shores to win, we can go to theirs and win as well. So joining us will be Miss Merl Jordan. She is a master athlete and she was in South Africa. She'll tell us all about that experience. But I also want you, our viewers, to get ready because, you know, it's Christmas, it's CBC's 60th. There are lots of giveaways, so you need to be on standby to find out what we're going to give you for Christmas. Well, it's time now to talk to Merl. How have you been?
Wonderful. How are you doing?
I am great. You went far away from me to do some of what you do best, that
Yes.
running. South Africa.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was actually the 14th Open Championships, and we had an opportunity to be a part of 5,000 athletes from Botswana, Kenya, and all of the states in Germany as well was there, and Australia.
Now, you always fly the Barbados flag. How did that opportunity come to you? And why did you decide, yes, I need to do this for my country?
Well, I have started from years ago being an athlete. I started the actual Masters Games from 2002, the first one being in Australia. I was earmarked to go to Australia this year, but then they deferred that. And my friend Lonnie in Africa sent me the information, and I said, as I was preparing for games, let me take this opportunity to actually go down to Pretoria West. That's where the games were.
Okay,
in South
tell
Africa.
me about the disciplines you would have participated in and what your wins were like. 'Cause I can see medals. I'm seeing medals. Yes,
I
I'm
had the
seeing
100
medals.
meters, the 400 meters. I actually had the 2 and then the 4x1 relay.
Okay.
1 bronze for the 4x1 relay, and then the 3 second places in the 1, 2, and 4.
Okay, now that's awesome. Now, in terms of the preparation, was it any different for you running in South Africa than it was here?
No, actually they are in their summer mode, so it was nice and hot. In fact, it was really hot that we athletes were sometimes hiding, waiting for the beginning of the race. But the aesthetics and so on were really, really wonderful. The stadium, the Pilchard Stadium there was just excellent for running.
Okay, now the stadium there you said was excellent for you, but what were some of the other things that drew you to that venue and that you would encourage other master runners to get involved in terms of being able to tour the world to compete?
I would say that the ambience and the caring of the people, because when I went to do my registration to actually get my number and so on, these are the words I heard: I remember you. So it gives you an opportunity to connect back with previous athletes that you would have met at games before, and also to go out there and garner friendships. I was the only athlete from Barbados, and I was sitting by myself, and Yvonne came over and said, "You're here by yourself, come and join us." And then from there it was being a part of their team. I went to her home to share in fellowship and a meal, and that would be the opportunity, I would say, to go out there and be that ambassador, even if you're just one person and not part of a team.
And how does that feel? Loneliness never sets
No,
in. You
no,
never
no,
tell
not at
yourself
all.
Barbados should be doing more to assist us as seniors who want to remain active.
I concur that we can do a little more, but then the passion, the drive, the determination, the discipline that I have in every aspect of my life, be it going downtown and feeding the homeless, making a difference for somebody else, all of that comes to me as part of who I am, that then I can go out there and fly that Barbadian flag so, so high.
Now, that's South Africa we went to. What's next on the agenda for Merl? Because I know you're always training for something.
Well, Australia is November next year, and also before that there were championships being held in Gothenburg in Sweden.
Okay, so how are you preparing now?
Well, once I get over Christmas and do my gift baskets and make some happy families, then I will start back my training in a more intense way from January. But I'm always walking all over the place. In fact, I've been given the nickname of Road Runner. I wouldn't say who say that.
Well, there's nothing wrong with keeping the body fit.
Not at all.
Exactly. And as you age is healthy aging.
Yes.
So that's great.
I take that interest from my mom as well. She's 92. In fact, I bought some gooseberries as little tokens for you all, made with her loving hands. And it's an opportunity every day to see mom doing something. She loves to do the word search books, and that is what I think keeps her brain from going a little weary, but excellent skills and motor skills still there.
And that's something that you want to see pushed more in our seniors, the
Yes.
whole idea of active aging?
Yes. In fact, a lot of our other athletes that I'm in contact with or go and do other journeys, it's a passion, and it has been their lifestyle. What I've noticed when I go to games is that I can see people 80, 90, 100 even competing, and they would have started in later years. And it may have been an opportunity for them to, after surgery, to run, walk, or swim, and realize that is something that they can do. But active aging has always been a part of Barbados' psyche, and I think that going forward, we can still have an opportunity to do a little more, but more importantly, take it upon yourself to actually have an opportunity to keep moving. And it doesn't have to be hard. 15 minutes of movement, be it walking, exercise, running, or whatever, keeps our cardiovascular moving. And we don't have to go into the gym to lift the weights and all that. Once you keep moving, that is one of the criteria that I've learned over time, to actually keep us fit.
Now, you would have chalked up a number of experiences in these various countries. I mean, everything may not have all gone smoothly and what have you in the games at one stage or the other. What do you intend to do with some of these memories?
I am in the process of getting my book sorted, and I've thought of what I'm going to put on the front cover. I have memories in terms of the games, so it would just be a matter of pulling from my journals, times and dates and stuff like that. But it's an opportunity to have a smile, go up there and be that ambassador, but more importantly, to realize that we cannot do anything without God, no matter what we do, who we are, where we live. And that has been one of the main reasons and the focus to go out there and be of service. And service not only for me, but through me, where I can go there, be it a stranger, be it somebody I know, but always to make a new friend and to bring a smile to someone's face.
How many medals and trophies do you have now? Or you
And
stopped counting?
these four, I haven't stopped counting. These four would actually be going nearly 100 medals and certificates, trophies. But this event would have been my 90th Masters event.
90 Masters
90th Masters event from 2002 right until now, and I actually go to games sometimes twice a year.
No, that's
this is
quite
my little
a
sports
feat.
resume here.
That
3
is
pages.
quite a feat, you know, twice in a
I
year.
love what I do. I really, really love what I do, and go there. And even when I saw the flag being raised, another high point of the games, I was asked to present medals on 4 occasions. And I want to say thanks to Lonnie from South Africa for asking me that honor, because not that she singled me out, but I think that God has a way of showing you that we may be far in terms of distance, sea, miles, whatever, but we can still come together as a people to realize that distance should not be a factor, color should not be a factor, nothing like that.
Precisely.
Humanity.
There's always a point of interconnectedness,
Of course.
always. And you
I
have
agree.
said quite a key word, humanity.
Yes.
And it's something that all of us need to show each and every day,
Yes.
you know, in our lives. Now, you are a senior athlete, but how do you keep the energy? What's your regime on a daily basis? You know, to keep those energy levels high, to be able to have that extra energy to burn on the track?
The extra energy, again, comes from thanking God for choosing me in a myriad of things. As I mentioned, feeding the homeless and doing so many other things. The energy is always there to go there and to ensure that Barbados' flag, along with the athletes or whoever is there, is seen, to keep the international games in our mind, because people consider us as being small. Some people still do not know where Barbados is.
And
so
I hope
that's
you
part,
showed them.
I did.
Okay, good,
and
good.
I am thankful to explain about Barbados and what our values are, what our quantity in terms of people. And sometimes we fit into some of these countries so many times, but to actually be there to represent gives an opportunity and a smile to someone's face.
And not only that, it was a smile, but you placed high.
Yes.
You made sure and kept that flag up, which
I
is
did,
a wonderful,
and I'm
wonderful
thankful
thing.
to my sister Cheryl. She was the main person, but I want to say thanks to all those persons who bought the fish cakes, who gave hugs, who made telephone calls, sent cards, and other forms of donations.
Right, and that support is key, isn't it?
It is, yes.
So in the same measure that you give to others, do you find that you also receive?
Not all the time. It varies depending on what I'm doing or what the person is giving, but it's always a thank you for me in my heart when, in doing the little radio show on mornings, that inspirational section, every day, no matter where I go, I can hear someone say Merl Pearl or Merl Jordan, Fishgate Lady, whatever they want to call me. There's so many names attached to me, but I don't mind. At least it's giving another person an opportunity to realize, not to want to be like me, but giving them hope that in spite of what we may see, read, hear, we can still have a wonderful life. We get caught up sometimes in what's going on in the world, but what is your world doing for one other person?
That's interesting. That's an interesting concept, not to be bogged down in the
Yes,
quagmire,
yeah,
but try to rise above it all.
All the time.
Now, in terms of the high points, other than winning, what did you enjoy about South Africa?
I've been to South Africa 4 times before, and actually when I went to these games last month, I called a friend who I met in 2006, and she said to me, you cannot be so close and we not see each other. I got a text message, get to the airport, and I went to her home in Port Elizabeth for 3 days, Another highlight was when I was returning from London, I do a journal, and it's just basically information, the plane, the height, the quantity of people, what type of aircraft. And I was looking at my book, and I heard, "Is this your book?" When I look, it was the captain, and he squats down in the aisle. He's questioning me about the games and what my next games would be. And then he said, you're traveling more than me. We had a good laugh. But I felt so wonderful to realize that the captain came and brought back the journal for me. So that was another highlight. But I look at every area of the games as highlights because I'm there and I'm making it happen. The passion, as I mentioned, is always that opportunity to go out there and not be singled out. Because your light has to shine no matter where you go, what you do, to make you your uniqueness. But then I'm looking to do something extra. The hotel where I stayed, every day I washed the dishes, and the lady said, "I haven't seen any dishes in the sink, but it's those little things
that matter.
That matters."
Yes, and you matter as well, Merl.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you for being you and always being a Bajan ambassador. And congratulations to you once again.
Thank you so much. Have
That's
a great day,
Merl
everyone.
Jordan, the Barbados Masters athlete.
Thank
have a
you.
great one.
Everyone, have a good day.
When we come back on Morning Barbados, we'll have lots more in store for you.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kia Lewis, General Practitioner and Healthy Lifestyle Advocate. Good nutrition starts at home. So this school year, I want you to consider packing healthy, nutritious snacks and lunches for your children to carry, rather than having them buy them at school. And don't just pack things you think they should have. Have a discussion and come up with things that you both know they will enjoy.
Hello, good day. My name is Dr. Diane Brackett. I'm the Clinical Director at the Barbados Diabetes Foundation and also the lead consultant at the Diabetes Clinic.
My tip for the week is plan it. And what do I mean by plan it? If you think about it realistically, we all live very, very busy lives. And if you take the time to plan your meals and nutrition over the coming week, you'll find that you'll actually eat healthier meals, spend less money, and they'll probably actually taste a lot better. So what exactly do I mean by plan it? Where are you gonna go? What you're gonna buy? Where are you gonna shop? What about your budget? When you're gonna cook food? Maybe when you're gonna prepare snacks for maybe the kids in the week. Take this cantaloupe, for example. There's so many things that I can do with this. I could actually use this to make an unsweetened natural juice. Maybe hit it with a twist of lime. I can also cut it up and just eat it as fresh fruit. Maybe I can actually make a smoothie with it, with yogurt. You know what else I love to put cantaloupe in? Salad. Or how about using it as a chutney, a pickle, add it to meats. There's just so much stuff that you can do with just the simple things that you can buy. So remember, the health of our children matters. What you put in is what you get out. So plan your best life today.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
And we're back. It's time to be Amaze. Yes, Amaze is celebrating 13 years this year. It's 13th anniversary. And to help us discuss all that's going to be in store is Mr. Ryan Boyce, their public relations and marketing representative. Good morning to you, Ryan.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, we're always happy to have Amaze. Now, the Amaze group is going to be having a big sale, lots of discounts in store. Let's get right to it.
That's right. So this Friday, so everybody mark your calendar, this Friday, 15th December, we begin our anniversary sale. And in store, we'll be having 25% discount. So in these kinds of times, Wendy,
you need it.
I'm telling you.
You need it.
Right? And here is the opportunity for the whole world to come to Barbados right now, meet us at Amaze right there in Oistins, in Harvest Plaza, and benefit from that discount. And it's a 13-day sale as well. So the 25% discount happens on Friday, 9 a.m., get there 9 a.m., and we're there until 8 p.m.
Okay.
And then after that, 13 days, working days, business days, so we take out the public holidays and such like, you pop into our store and can still get a 10% discount. That goes right up to January 2nd.
So the savings continue.
Savings continue.
And that is awesome. Now, in terms of the celebration for the anniversary, you all are going to be having lots of entertainment. Tell us about it.
Yes, please. The first thing that we want to make sure everybody knows is the 18-foot Arginine Dancing Man. There's Wendell Weeks, Kian Walters, Christo J. Paul. Have some new persons, Nisha Welch, saxophone Kamani Jilts, and our steel pan SOS Steel.
Yes.
We also have free refreshments. There's nothing like a birthday without refreshments.
It is
Come
true.
on,
We
you
must
know.
have
We
cake.
must have
We
a little
must have
something
cake.
there.
Or
you
something
know.
healthy.
Something
Since it's
healthy,
Amaze.
you know.
Yes.
So we have meals and fish cakes and lactose, gluten, and cholesterol-free ice cream all day. Smiley Snow,
Cholesterol-free ice cream.
cholesterol-free ice cream. And for those persons who are watching their figure, for this season, yes, we do have stuff that will also help you manage your weight as well.
Okay, so everybody can ease into these special dresses.
That's correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, Amaze is also about health.
That's
big on
right.
health. Your products are natural, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get my pressure and sugar and those
You know
things
the
checked
thing.
as well.
You've been checking on us.
It
Yes, you
seems
will
so,
have your blood
yes.
pressure checks for free, blood sugar check for free, cholesterol check for free, echocardiogram for free. Did you hear me saying that? And we're going to bring a specialist. And he's also going to check your carotid, depending on how you call it. Artery, yeah?
Okay.
Now, this guy is coming in all the way, as he's a specialist. Let me make sure he has his name, Matt Goodroad. He'll be in Barbados, and you will see him on Friday. In fact, when we come back here, we'll bring him along.
Okay, I guess there's going to be a line for this.
Listen,
a free ECG.
I'm telling you. And we also have the breast screening guys back on board this year. This is their second year for free. Are you hearing
What time are we likely to see them? They will be there
They'll
all
be there
day?
all day, okay?
Okay, because you said you're open until 8.
Until 8. So persons who want to do their work in the morning or who's working shift and that sort of thing, they can finish their shift and come across to Amaze.
Okay.
And we have the TIG-10, the VIF-10, you know, we're going into flu season.
Okay.
So we have those things that will help persons with their lungs, breathing, shortness of breath. As persons manage their diet, and there are a couple of things here that they'll see as well too, you know,
to them because
to make sure
I'm
that persons
seeing
know
things
what to
like
get. We have
slimming
cream, we
I'm
have natural
noticing-
coconut oil as well, we have hair growth.
What's the thing that looks like a jellyfish soap.
That is a soap.
It is a soap.
A natural soap, and that's one of the new products that we're bringing out. We have quite a few natural soaps. The other soaps are like lightly scented, easy on the skin. There's one with 24 karat gold flakes as well. You know, a nice little scrub on your skin to make sure the pores are open.
So does the gold stay? Will it help me to shimmer during the holiday season?
Come on, try it and see. You know, I'm telling you. And for those, I know everybody talk about my hair, yeah, but for the guys now, we have a gorilla beard product now. So for those fellas who,
Gorilla beard.
Yes, I'm saying, look, and there's the beard oil right there.
Okay.
So that make sure that it's healthy.
And growing strong.
I am telling you.
Oh my! I can see the volume now. I can see it now, Ryan. I can see it now. But there's also something there, slimming cream.
Slimming cream, yes.
How quickly is that going to work for me?
It works quickly and it works wonders. Okay. It works quickly and it works wonders. We also make sure that persons who are stuck at home and that sort of thing, you can take stuff for them. We've been checking in and we found out up to as recent as Friday, someone came by and used some of our products, anti-cancer products, and it says, this thing actually works. I says, yeah, that's what we do. It's Amaze. We are sure to amaze you. Check us out online as well.
Yes.
Facebook at Amaze, Instagram at Amaze, and launching soon our e-commerce website. Did I tell you that, Wendy? Yeah.
We're going, I can go onto your catalog now.
Yes, right.
Through your IG or through your Facebook.
And we're going to have our website,
everything's
all
going to be redone.
Correct.
For this 13th anniversary.
And you'll be able to shop online and send to your friends wherever.
Okay,
and
that's
we've been
awesome.
having stories from those overseas.
What kind of turnaround are we talking about in terms of shipping?
We go through our partners. We have express shipping, so you don't have to wait that long set of time.
Okay, so I don't have to wait too long to get my L-arginine, but that's the popular one.
I'm telling you, your pro-argin. Right, once you get our pro-argin, that in fact everybody's been calling about that. While we were in store, persons came through, checked in. Yes, you can do that. Call us. We get a little bit hectic because persons have been checking in, but our reps are there to also assist you in store, right? And they will identify exactly what needs to happen. A little hair color for New Year's, no problem.
And all natural.
All natural. Hair growth. We also have solar lights, things that if you want to have the children with their aquarium and that sort of thing, so floating lights inside there. So from child
everything, not only in terms of your needs in terms of healthy products and skincare, but also in terms of that fun, amusement. So tell us again the date, what time, and how much you want us to be there.
Right. I need everybody in Barbados and the whole wide world, because we have the real stuff, okay? And we're going to be there with our birthday celebrations. 9 a.m. we open, and we're going to have a word of prayer to say thanks, right? 9 a.m. at Amaze over there in Harvest Plaza until 8 p.m. So when you take your lunch on Friday, make sure that you are in the Oysters area, that you nip in, get all your stuff from free produce, free ice cream, free this,
you didn't tell me about the produce. You had me at the gluten-free, right? But free produce
yeah, if you want
as
a little
well.
sweet
So
potato, if you want a little onion or a little something for the...
So I can have something for the pot.
I am telling you, come on, that is how we do it at Amaze. That's why everybody needs to be there, right?
We do, we all do, and those health checks.
And the health checks.
Because you've brought specialists in.
We bring in all the nurses, we bring the same doctor who's going to do his let me make sure I call his name correctly, Matt Goodroad. And you get to meet him first
And I think Amaze puts us on a good road too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The best for the season.
Yes.
This is the best way to start your Christmas, if you haven't started it as yet. From here to toes. If you want your undergarments, no problem. If you want to take care of your cholesterol, your blood pressure, you want to make sure your lungs are strong, you're stressed out at this time of year, Wendy, if you're stressed out, we got something for it. Tell all of Barbados we have something for stress. Right? Prostate care, we got it as well.
I
And we
see you
have
also
persons who speak about it.
shampoo,
Shampoo, that's
everything
right.
you're taking
And it's
care
not
of.
harsh because, you know, some products, they actually break your hair. They leave your skin feeling sort of way. No
Yes.
alums, no natural. Right?
Well, we
and
are.
our stuff is award winning, okay?
Yes.
You know.
Well, we are ready to be amazed. So we will see you at the plaza on Friday.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much
Thank
for
you
joining
so
us.
much.
Ryan Boyce from Amaze talking all about the products and their 13th anniversary. We'll be right back on Morning Barbados, and we'll be giving you a chance to win.
Praise God! The big Amaze 13th anniversary celebration, Friday, December 15th, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. 25% store-wide sale, free gifts, free fruits and vegetables, free health checks, blood pressure, sugar, cholesterol, echocardiograms, free refreshments and entertainment. Kian Walters, Christo J. Paul, Carl's on Pan, the Amaze Dancing Arginine Man, dairy-free ice cream, lollies, and so much more. Happy Christmas and a blessed and prosperous New Year from Amaze. 12 and 13 Harvest Plaza, Oystins, Christchurch, Barbados. Telephone 246-420-7809.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Time for news now. The Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation's week of activities for its 60th anniversary celebrations began yesterday with the news that it's preparing to roll out a new e-commerce platform. The announcement was made during the church service at the St. Peter Parish Church, which kicked off the week. Sharika Griffith reports.
December 15th, 2023 marks 60 years the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation has been serving Barbadians. To mark the milestone, the CBC has commenced a week of activities, beginning with a Thanksgiving service. The congregation included current and former staffers, as well as members of the wider CBC family. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs and Information, Yvette Goddard, delivered remarks on behalf of Minister Wilfred Abrams, who is on duty leave. In a statement, he said CBC continues to be an integral part of the Barbadian and regional landscape.
As it not only embodies the purpose of radio and television, which is to inform, educate, and entertain, but has demonstrated its heart and true purpose in the way it has loved, shared, and cared for its community over the last 60 years. It is this spirit of community that has kept CBC relevant for the last 6 decades. And the finest example of this commitment is the weekly Q in the Community event, which provides an outlet for the more mature in our society and contributes to seniors' physical and mental well-being in a way no medication can.
And as the corporation plans for the future, it will be embracing greater use of technology.
Going forward, CBC will expand its social media footprint to reach an even larger audience, while allowing for business transactions on our soon-to-be-completed e-commerce platform. Lots more is coming, so stay tuned. Of course, there has been talk about changes to come at CBC. Change is necessary. It is part of growth and development. But any change coming will be designed to maintain the integrity of CBC while ensuring the public interest is maintained.
In his sermon, Rector Canon Peter Haynes thanked the corporation for its contribution over the last 60 years, even as he called on it to continue on the path of nation building.
It is not just the development of bang, bang, bang on the radios today, but development of culture, development of programming which enlightens God's people, which tells us there's an alternative to what is happening around the world. There's an alternative to what is happening in our neighbors around us, in the big countries and the big cities, that there are alternatives, and that we have something to offer, that we have something to give to God's people, and to recognize that you don't minister just to us here as Barbadians, but how many people across the world are on YouTube and Wi-Fi listening to your programming.
As part of the week of activities, a number of iconic news anchors will be presenting CBC Newsnight. There are also plans for an employee recognition and award ceremony. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
There's a plan underway to tackle the problem of dangerous and reckless motorbiking in Barbados. It involves the development of an off-road track for riders. Minister in the Office of the Attorney General with responsibility for crime, Corey Lane, addressed the issue at the National Peace Program Aftercare program. He believes it is another area for Barbados to grow as a sports destination while providing an outlet for bikers who can go on to represent Barbados in international competitions.
One of the challenges we got in Barbados is we got these fellas with bikes on the road. You know, really in the air, this table know about that. Because the bikes want to light up like Christmas trees, right? And they know, but there's a legal problem and there's a nuisance to vehicles. Off-road vehicles belong off-road, man. So what we're going to do is to make sure that not only you provide the mechanism, but that you have the outlet, the modules, and so on, so that it makes sense. Because it is a skill that we can export. It is a skill that we can use in the X Games across Barbados.
Mr. Lane says he's been updated on what's needed to get such a project off the ground, and they will now proceed to the next stage.
I asked some people for the information. Months the information ain't coming. I asked them last week, Friday, and this Friday they presented to me the list of bikes you need, the list of the replacement parts, the place where you get them from, where they got coming from the shipping, and the cost. So now we can move forward. So I thank them, and I think you all should thank them as well.
And we'll take a break, and when we come back, more Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
What you gonna give me for Christmas? Give me anything you can.
Merry Christmas.
Let me have a happy day. Why you got to give me for Christmas? I need something.
It's time to make a call for the CBC What You Gonna Give Me for Christmas promotion. You know how you have to answer your phone. Remember, if you don't answer correctly, we move on to another entrant. What you gonna give me for Christmas? Lots of prizes in store for you. I wish somebody would
The
give
number
me
you have
something
dialed
for
has
Christmas.
not been recognized. Please try.
Let's get busy, folks. What are you going to be getting for Christmas? I won't be getting it. You will. All you have to do is make those calls. Answer that phone correctly. Let's see. Yes. What are we likely to win today? Well, you won't know
Your
unless
call has been forwarded
you
to an
answer that phone correctly. You've been entering this competition because you want to win for Christmas, and I want you to win too. It's all time to get up. It's after 7, going on about soon 10 minutes past the hour. We need to hear from you. Answer those phones, ladies and gentlemen. It's Christmas. Yes, we're on to our third caller now. You need
The number
to
you have
answer.
dialed has not.
I guess Santa won't be spreading some cheer this year. Well, CBC in our 60th year. We're looking to give you, so you just need to answer us, but in the right way.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized.
Oh dear. Okay, there's no winner today, unfortunately. We'll go to break now, but just remember, answer that phone correctly. We'll be back in a bit.
What you gonna give me for Christmas?
Give me anything you can.
Merry Christmas.
Let me have a happy day. Why you got to give me for Christmas? I need something from you.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
And we're back. It's time to get a little hugging on. Yes, we're going to be talking about the Hug for Hope initiative with Ambassador Ashley Lashley. And this morning, Ashley, who is the UNICEF Youth Advocate and CARICOM Youth Ambassador, is doing her initiative, which more or less is a global stand against gender-based violence. She's advocating for unity and connection in a world where we need to feel connection, and that's why we are looking to give those hugs. Good morning to you, Ashley.
Good morning. How are you doing? Good
I
morning,
am
Barbados.
I am well this morning. I'm hoping you are too, because there's a big time difference with you being in Dubai. But Les, thanks for joining us here. Now let's get to this initiative. Why hugs? There are so many other things that you could have done to try to promote the days of activism and all the other things you speak of. Why the hug for hope?
Well, honestly, it was the conceptualization of the Hug for Hope initiative actually stemmed after my participation in the Latin America Climate Week. And if I'm being honest, I received a photo at this international conference with me giving a hug to a fellow colleague, and it looked so warm. It showed so much love. And for at least 2 weeks, it was dawning on me there's something that I can do with this photo. And then I remembered one night I just jumped out of my sleep and I was like, I got it. And then I was like, I participated in the knowledge fair that was hosted by UNDP. UN Women Self as well. And there I was learning a bit more about gender-based violence, and I actually delivered my first address about different forms of gender-based violence. And when I got home, I guess the morning time, I decided that, with this photo that have been haunting me for the last weeks, why not start an initiative in Barbados throughout the 16 days of activism to show love, unity, and respect for each other. Because even outside of gender-based violence, it is interconnected with so many other societal issues that many persons are facing. And even as a young person, we've seen that the suicide rates with young people, mental health issues are on the rise, and we don't know what anyone is going through. So by developing this Hug for Hope campaign, the theme, ironically enough, is one hug, one hope, one love. And we just want to show what we wanted to show throughout the 16 days of activism, because it just concluded, to show that together as Barbadians and as people, we can stand together to support each other, no
Yes.
matter what they may be going through.
But it's not only about the activism, you're also using it to speak to the conflict in Palestine, and you're encouraging donations. Tell us about that aspect of it.
Yeah, predominantly in my role as UNICEF Youth Advocate, UNICEF released a report about how it is a humanitarian crisis that is actually happening, and children are at the forefront and their lives has been impacted. And I also remember reading an article by Al Jazeera News, which indicated that every day over 100 children or more have lost their lives as a result of the war that is currently happening. And throughout the Hug for Hope campaign, we actually had a $1 drive entitled $1 for Hope, where we were raising funds to give back to humanitarian organizations, predominantly those that are working with children, to assist them with any needs that they may have on the ground. So they were kind of interconnected, I would say, between giving a hug and showing love and unity. Because, even throughout wars and different crises that the world is facing, at the end of the day, gender-based violence will be on the rise as a result. And we know that children are one of the most vulnerable in wars as it relates to the climate crisis, and they're always affected by any conflict that is happening. So in my role as CARICOM Youth Ambassador, also UNICEF Youth Advocate, and seeing and knowing the sense and the purpose of a universal hug and what it represents, that is why the overall campaign was developed.
But Ashley is not going it alone. The Ministry of Youth is on board with you. And looking back home, we're also looking at this hug as a way to basically stem violence, a show of unity and peace. And, let's not have conflict. Let's learn to love each other, hug each other.
Yeah, I was happy that after I launched the campaign, the Ministry of Youth with their End for Violence campaign came on board to support. And show their support towards the initiative. And even as you were talking, I remember there's this theme or slogan that goes that we are our brother's keepers. And I think even when it comes to the end, the violence campaign, it really shows a sense of warmth and unity to each other. And even the conceptualizing the program and doing my research, I realized that there are over 16 different types of hugs. And I didn't know that there were so many different types of hugs that we give to each other. But I think what is important to recognize with the partnership now with the Ministry of Youth, with the End for Violence campaign, is that it not only shows a stand, one, against the amount of violence and crime that we're seeing, but it also shows that at the end of the day that we as people have to continue looking out for each other, whether it be through a hug, whether it be through support for a survivor who have experienced crime. You know, the psychosocial support is needed and the mental health trauma again. So throughout this, we want to promote that each and every one of us as Barbadians, as people, we do have a role to play in the elimination of crime, and we do have a role to play in ensuring that Barbados becomes a country that is safe for each other, and each of us continue to live in environments that are prosperous, and and that is what we want to promote throughout the Hug for Hope campaign. And even although it ran for the 16 days of activism, I'm currently looking with the Ministry of Youth and other partners to see how it can be extended outside of the 16 days of activism. And I'm currently here
about in Dubai. Tell us about the picture aspects of it and how we can hashtag and show our hugs.
Yeah, no, definitely. So how it works is that you can either hug a friend, a family member, and you can capture the moment. You can post it on your social media. You can share a message along lines of gender-based violence or crime. Post it in your caption and use the hashtag hug, the number 4 hope, and also tag 3 friends. And that's how the campaign essentially works. If you don't want to go there and hug anyone, we also have a virtual hug symbol that you could also post. You can tag 3 friends as well using the hashtags hug for hope, hashtag end the violence, and tagging the Vision of Youth 246 on your social media pages. So it's really simple. It is a social media campaign. We are encouraging everyone to show their love, support, and unity to friends, colleagues, anyone that they love and respect throughout this period.
Okay, Ashley, I want to thank you for joining us this morning from Dubai. Here's my virtual hug to you. And you keep hope alive and keep the hugs coming, people. That's Ashley Lashley, our CARICOM Youth Ambassador there, telling us about the Hug for Hope initiative. You are listening and watching Morning Barbados, and we will be back with a Bajan Afar.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
In today's Bajan Afar, we will also be going into our next chapter because Mr. Ricky Elcock is the author of a book titled Balls to Fly. Ricky Elcock, an autobiography of a Barbadian living in the UK. Now, Ricky, only the most resilient of characters could have overcome the challenges faced by Ricky Elcock as he soared from humble beginnings in a small Caribbean village to a seat in the cockpit of the world's largest passenger aircraft. I want to welcome you this morning, Mr. Elcock.
Good morning, Barbados.
Yes. Now, I'm just going to tell our audience a little bit about it. Within your journey has been quite an interesting one because you were into sports. You also found yourself leaving your humble roots for a new life in the UK. Pretty soon you found yourself playing first-class cricket. Then you were forced to give up that sport. Depression. I mean, the list is endless, but you've pushed past the boundaries and you have all brought it to culmination in this book, Balls to Fly. Where did the resilience come from? Where did you draw that strength? Was it from all of the experiences or from soaring above it all as you pilot that helped you to see this is what I need to do? This is what I need to put on a page.
Well, I mean, I was born in Redmond, where I'm at this present time. But initially, my old man, when I said to him years ago that I wanted to fly airplanes, he said to me, black people don't fly, do something that's achievable. He, at the time, doctor in medical or law or something like that. But it did make me want to do it even more. And then, of course, after Commerce School as a 10-year-old, the headmaster at Commerce School at the time, he said you could do anything that you wanted to. So, it gave me the drive to start to try and do things like that. And, of course, that all went by the wayside, and I went off, won a scholarship at 15 years old, went off to boarding school in England, which, by the way, was a very brave thing for my mom to actually do. Spent a number of years at school, and then eventually made my first class career. Selected for England at 24, and that all came crashing down with an injury. But all the time, all of these experiences were just driving me forward to be a little bit more resilient in things that I do. And
a lot of experiences crafted this book, and among them is being driven to school on mornings by the Prime Minister. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, that I used to tumble across the board road, as you know, out to come here, and just one morning, this car arrived. I jumped in and it was the Prime Minister at the time. This 1976, something like that. Everybody used to drive across the border going down to his office. And he gave me a lift one morning. He said, wait, come here. I went initially. We had a little conversation. And then, fairly times a few mornings after that, he actually picked me up and took me to school. So that was the first of that.
Okay. Now, cricket has also been a part of your life. It has been for a number of young boys, playing on the street, playing on a field. But you now got an opportunity, to move from doing it with friends to scholarship.
Yeah, at 15, won a scholarship. A little bit of luck. Yeah, the day before that actual game that I played, I fell off my bike and took the skin off my knees and elbows and stuff like that. Managed to play in the game, did quite well, and I was offered a scholarship to probably one of the best schools in London, in England. And so a little bit of luck, but I suppose you make your own luck by playing well.
Okay. Now, apparently you turned up for a game in your school clothes.
Yes. Well, my first class game, I was 17 at the time, so still at school in England. And when they selected me for the game, obviously this was a boarding school. the headmaster at the time, he said, right, you can play the game, but you need to come back here every night, and you must wear a school uniform. So here I was turning up, and I don't know if you know about public school uniforms in England, but they're fairly colorful things. So you can imagine the ribbon that I got from the rest of the players.
Okay, now the dedication, moving from cricket, how do you think that career ended? Do you think there was a little bit of sabotage in the mist? How did you move away from that into your other career?
Well, I mean, I had a serious back injury. I came down here on an England tour to play for England. Fairly much as I arrived here in the Caribbean, as you can imagine, what excitement that was going to be for me and my family and friends, stuff like that. It all came to a horrible end with just a back injury. It was devastating, absolutely devastating. But you know what? I went back to England, or they sent me back to England. Got the treatment for it. Was two operations. And, after the second operation, it didn't work. They said, "Look, it's time to stop playing." So, and that was the end of that. Absolutely devastating. But life has to go on. Yes, and as they said, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
It's very true. And you found the strength to train and to train for one of the jobs that, needs optimum dedication, that of a pilot.
Yes, absolutely. But don't forget, I'd said to my dad as a 12-year-old that I quite like to fly airplanes. And this is because I used to see the aircraft carriers just off the bay in Caroline Bay. I used to go and watch them and watch pilots actually flying the airplane on and off them. And so it was something that I'd always had in the back of my mind. And even though I was playing cricket at the time, I used to go off and learn to fly. I had a private license. It was just a matter of converting that into a commercial license, which is what I did.
But not only did you convert to the commercial license, but you also had the pride of becoming the first black pilot on a leading airline. Tell me about that.
Yeah, a little bit of luck. I went for an interview. I came out of flight school, wrote, I don't know, I can't tell you how many airlines. Nobody would give me a job. Eventually, I ended up at LAAT, flew for LAAT for a few years. And then all the time I was still writing to airlines because a pilot license, in my day, it cost something around £80,000. And so I'd save to get this license. And I needed to fly the best airplane that I possibly could, which at the time I was writing to BA and Virgin at that. Where to give an interview. And the guy that actually interviewed was married to a Barbadian lady, so it was my little bit of luck.
So we found a Bajan somewhere, so you got through in that sense. Now, there's some things that would have happened, and I'm not sure if you're clairvoyant, but when it came to 9/11, you seem to have had some sense of, what was going to happen and so on.
Yeah, it was an interesting time in aviation. Not just for me personally, but for the whole aviation. The first flight I did after 9/11 was to San Francisco, and I was flying the 747 jumbo at the time. 450 people we could carry. We had 25 people on board the aircraft. Now that's in contrast to the very next flight. I believe it was the 4th of October. We actually, myself and another Barbadian, Jeffrey Patterson, did the inaugural 747-400 flight into Barbados. So, and that went from being the most depressing time in the world to probably the most exciting for both of us, two Barbadians coming back, flying a 747 back into Barbados.
Okay. Now, we had the back injury, which took you out of cricket. But then along came a series of other misfortunes, which almost took you out of life.
Yeah. Well, I'd been flying the jumbo for a number of years. I left Barbados one afternoon, flew back to London, and basically walking down the stairs, a double-decker aircraft, and I fell down the stairs. I don't know, tired, whatever. And that accumulated 4 years later with something called a brain bleed. They call it a subdural hematoma. And They eventually had one operation which they said clear it. Second operation didn't clear it. Third operation didn't clear it. And eventually it took them in total 4 operations, 4 brain operations within 8 weeks to actually.
That's a lot to have gone through, but you made it through and you're here. Now, along with that, being in England, flying, black man, you've also encountered a lot of biases, prejudices, and racism. How did you rise above it all?
You know, the 80s in London, in England, was just a very rough time for black people. And I don't want it to be. I'm not asking this as a culture, sort of cancel culture or anything like that. I'm just in the book. I just explain what actually happened, and this is from boarding school through cricket and even in aviation. I mean, this stuff went on. I hope that people will read it and see it for what it is, something that happened. I'm not there to culture or call out anybody's names or whatever. I hope that it's getting better. I really do hope it's getting better. Now, I'm not so sure. The last bit of the book is about my son, and I'm hoping that for him, the next generation, that he'll find it a little bit better or healthier, so to say.
Okay, and let's hope so for his sake. Now, flying is a love, but you would have had a few little ups and downs there as well. There's some stuff you've put into the book that you want us to be a part of. Just give me 1 or 2 examples of these aviation. Can't say the word aloud.
Say the word.
No.
Yeah. Flying is fun, huh? And I hope that kids that read the book will see it as an inspiration to get into aviation. There's not a lot of black people even now flying airplanes. I joined Virgin in 1997 as the first black person they'd heard, first black pilot that they'd heard, and and that's an achievement. I'm not trying to belittle that achievement or anything like that, but I'd like people to just understand that Virgin was going for 13 years before that. And you sort of wonder why there wasn't one before. Yeah. So I hope that people can look at me, or young kids can look at me and think, if he could do that, then certainly I could. That's what I want for our young people to take away from this book.
Well, I'm glad that given the title that it is for all readers. Why the selection of that particular title, though?
Well, it's a play on words. Obviously, as you said, it balls to fly. It basically is from cricket to flying. That's what the title means. But also, it's because my dad said, black people shouldn't fly. And I had the proverbial that I still wanted to do it. Yeah. And that's what the play on the words are.
Okay, and that's awesome. Where is your book online?
The book is online. It's on Amazon. There's a link. If you go on rickyelcock.co.uk, you can see various ways that you can buy the book. There's a number of them here. We're doing a book signing on Friday the 15th at Amaze School, 7:30, and so I'm there. There'll be a number of books there for sale, and I'd sign whatever you want me to sign messages into the books.
Okay. Well, I guess given that you went to the university in Waterford, I know that they will come out and support you with the whole Up and On gang. They will definitely be there. But just to read the quote from the back of your book, I feel extremely fortunate to have had 2 incredible careers. If you ask most little boys what they want to do when they're older, I suspect the vast majority of them would say they either want to be a professional sportsman or a pilot. I have managed to do both, and for that I feel eternally privileged, grateful, and blessed. And you are blessed, Mr. Elcock, given all that you have been through. Yes, the blessings are abounding. And that's our Bajan Afar, Ricky Elcock, author, Balls to Fly. An amazing journey of resilience in life, brain operations, back injuries, no longer can play cricket, turn to flying, remains in the sky, a number of firsts. So you need to get the book, Balls to Fly, Bajan Afar with his autobiography. We want to thank you so much for joining us here this morning, Mr. Alcock. If there's one other thing that stands out about the book, what would you say it is?
About the book, it's a story of a poor boy who had a little bit of luck and has made it all the time. It's rags to riches, basically. And I don't mean riches as in money. I mean as culturally, as intelligence, as learning. That's what the book is about. It just says, I can do it.
Okay, and that you have. Thank you so much for joining us here, Mr. Ricky Elcock, the author of Balls to Fly.
Just remember, come down and buy it, and I'll sign it on the 15th at 7:30.
Thank you so much. Morning Barbados will be back after the break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I close my eyes and dream of streets and lights, carols singing, family and friends around the table making memories, sharing love. Though this should happen every day, we make an excuse for it to wait. There's nothing like a love in a Christmas way. Nothing like a love in a Christmas way. Don't be selfish. Open your heart and show you care. People need it. A gift of love for every man. Don't be selfish. There is someone you can bless. Open your heart, take a chance, and let this love begin.
Doing a music for Christmas Bajan style. Yes, Maya Daniel, recording artist and attorney at law, along with Ian Bassboy Boyce, a bassist, recording artist and producer. He would have produced the track by Maya Daniel, which is called Love in a Christmas Way. And Mr. Boyce, Ian Boyce, would also have done a recording of This Christmas. I want to welcome both of them to the show this morning. We all know Maya Daniel is no stranger to the gospel scene in Barbados, and she's a household name, renowned for her powerful, soul-stirring renditions. But she is now bringing us a new track, and it's for Christmas, a winner of many awards, including the Flame Award. Maya has been doing this now for over 18 years, and she ministers in song. Ian Boyce, he is living in the U.S., but a Bajan who picked up his bass guitar for the first time at 11 years old. And since then, his musical journey has not ended. He's been a part of many, many productions, now with his own studios doing a number of releases. I want to welcome both of you to the show this morning. Good morning to you, Ian. Good morning to you, Maya.
Hi, good morning.
Maya, I believe I'm not hearing you. Okay, let's get going with Ian whilst we wait on Maya to sort it out. Now, you could have produced just about anything, or rather you have produced just about anything over your career. Ian, let's just get a little bit of background on who you are, what you've done, and how you're continuing to do it in the U.S.
Yes, good morning again. Good morning, Barbados. Let me just say from the university in Belle Plaine, I heard you made mention about the university in Waterford. I'm just going to shout out my people from the University of Belle Plaine, the Alling School. So good morning to all my people. But yeah, I started in a small community church in Spring Farm, St. Thomas. Crazy enough, I started on the drums, which is still my first love. And I then slowly migrated to the bass. And I think most of you will remember me on the gospel scene for a number of years with the band Phase 2 Undaunted under the leadership of Dr. Winston Clark. So that was basically the foundation of my start in church, like most of us started in church. From there, I did an apprenticeship at Chainbridge Studio as an engineer. Fast forward, I migrated to the US, started doing some work with a lot of independent artists. I worked with the Mama Foundation of the Arts, who was they received an Emmy for the musical Mama, I Want to Sing. So it's just been one thing happening after another, and I'm just grateful for this journey and where it has led me to now having my own record label, 3 albums in, and in the process of releasing album number 4. So I'm just eternally grateful for this journey.
Okay, now you're saying all of these things with a great level of humility, and that's how I know you to be. But you have also been alongside some of the best when it comes to gospel music internationally, and opening for some of those people. So I mean, you are a Bajan we're proud of. So you know, let's tout that trumpet a little bit, Ian.
I mean, if you know me well, I don't like to call names. So, you know, for me, it is just about the experiences, just embracing every experience. It's good to open for Kurt Franklin, it's good to open for whoever, but it's just a humbling experience, man, to know, like I said, I started in this small community church back home, and I often joke and say I'm just this skinny little bassist out of Spring Farm, St. Thomas. You know, sometimes I come off the stage and I'm like, wow. I just remember the days when I started. So it will always be a humbling experience. The tooting of the horn, that's not
your
me,
thing.
Again,
yes,
I'm
got you.
I'm just embracing this chapter, man. I'm just embracing it.
Now you have produced this track for Maya Daniel. Before we get to Maya, just tell me quickly about how you two came to get together on it.
Well, Maya would have been one of those artists that I've worked with way back in the day. And just to quickly share a story, I don't know how many folk remember when Maya took ill and she was in the hospital for some time. So I called a friend up and I said, you know, I would love to do something for Maya. I would love to do something for Maya. And I was thinking about doing a benefit concert, only to find out while I was making that phone call that the Daniel family was also in the process of planning a concert for Maya. So fast forward some almost 20 years now, we were just having a conversation about the industry, about the business, about where she would like to see herself, what she would like to do. And I said, it's amazing how life comes full circle. And I said to her, Maya, do you remember when I wanted to do the concert for you? So I said, you know what? Look at life coming full circle. I said, now here's my perfect opportunity to work with you and to do something for you. So I made her the offer of signing with my record label. And without hesitation, Maya said yes. And out of that came the relationship that we have now. The song, I would really like for her to tell you the story behind that song. I hope her
Yes.
microphone is working now. I really want her to tell you the story.
Good
But I
morning
heard
to
the
you.
song.
Yes. And you
Sorry,
decided you
I heard
wanted to
this
get on
song.
it.
I fell in love with it, and I was like, I got to work on this one. But I want her to tell you the story about that. So hopefully her microphone is working.
Good morning to you, Maya.
Good morning, Barbados. Good morning, Ian. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I
Yes, we
am.
got you.
We
We
all
got you. We
are.
got you. We got you. We
Now,
got you.
Ian is sharing with us that there's a big story behind this song. Let's get it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I would have signed with Ian, as he rightly said. That would have been early this year, right, Ian?
Yeah.
And as I was about to release my self-penned signal, single, I am here, and so our relationship grew then, and then I said, it'd be great to release something for Christmas, and I said, but I had this song that I was working on since 2018. It was supposed to be part of a project, a collab, and things didn't go, as expected at that time. That was 2018. And I said the song was just there. It was written by my stylist, my groomer, Ramon. Hey, good morning, Ramon. Ramon Husbands. And I had fallen in love with the song as soon as I heard it that time as well. And I said, my goodness, I'd love to, resurrect this and finish this, but I wasn't sure how. So anyway, I spoke to Ian about it. Ian said, Maya, let's go, let's do this. And so we started on a quest to get the files and so on. And as soon as Ian heard it, he said, I love this. I have to do this. And I have never seen anybody move so quickly. He said, I believe, Ian, I gave the files to you on the Friday. And he said to me, right, I'm going to get to working on this on the Monday. And by Saturday, by Saturday, we had the first draft. I could not believe it. The vocals were recorded by Danny Duncan, in 2018 at Pavilion Studios. And so we had the raw material, and Ian just took it from there. And I was just blown away by his interpretation, his fresh ears on the song and the music. And it just melted my heart, man. And I'm so excited
And I
to be
think
on board with Ian.
And I think the listeners will be just as excited as well. Now, where are we able to get access to these tracks?
All right, so
Do
they're
you
on
want to?
all major streaming platforms, and Ian could give you all the details, but it's all major streaming platforms. So
Yes, it's
Okay.
on all major platforms. Sorry, so just do a search for Maya Daniel, "Loving the Christmas Way," or Ian Baseball Boys, "This Christmas," and it's gonna pop up everywhere. So you have the option, Spotify. But let me just say, I have to say this: we solicit your support. $1.29 goes a long way. So if you're on Apple, if you're on iTunes, it's on Amazon. So wherever you can purchase this track for $1.29, if you say you support us, please, we solicit that monetary support. Not that we're here begging for money, but that 129 goes a very long way.
Now, in terms of working with Maya, Ian, can we look forward to more productions in the new year?
Oh, definitely. I haven't told her yet, but we need to start working on an album for this year. For sure. Now that the machine is in process, we need to definitely get that album on the road.
And speaking to albums, you yourself have two that are doing quite well. You've also recently won an award from the Barbados consulate in New York. Tell me a little bit about
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so just a quick correction. 3 albums. I released my third on my birthday in March. So I now have album 4 just sitting marinating on the laptop. Quickly, I'm about to drop 2 singles in January. One on January 25th is called Moonlight Dance. And we recently lost a great Sir Richard Stout. My favorite song by Sir Richard is Bajan Girl. I've always loved this song. And I said, one day, one day, one day. Well, that one day has finally come. And I just finished the production on my Bajan Girl. I am tempted, so tempted to release it before the end of the year, but I'm going to be very patient with this one and release it in January also. So it's my tribute to Mr. Stout. It's my tribute to the Bajan women. It's my tribute to Spooge because I always wanted to revisit that genre, which that's a whole nother conversation, but I always wanted to revisit that genre. And it's just a tribute to Barbados on the whole. Just a tribute to us. The award, we just had our 57th Independence Gala here in New York City. Like you mentioned, I was awarded, if I can just do this, just show it off a little bit. I was just awarded just for my contribution to music in the diaspora, my work with the consulate, being Barbadian on a whole. So again, I am just grateful for all these experiences, man. I'm eternally grateful and and humbled by that.
Maya, would you say that this new track is like breathing new life into a career which has spanned a very long time, but then you would have been absent for a bit as actively as you used to be? Is this the return of the Maya Daniel we knew, or is it a new, a fuller-bodied individual?
I would say the evolution of Maya is here. And it's actually, I would say from earlier this year with release of I Am Here, it was kind of a rebirth, and it's just been spiraling ever since. I mean, from one level to another. And it's important for us to keep evolving and becoming the better version of ourselves. We never stop learning, we never stop growing. And I'm excited about what God is doing in my life, in my music, in my career, everything. And I'm really just happy. This song for me captures so much of what I feel at this time of year. It's a song of reflection, introspection. It causes us to look very deep inside. It's very emotional. I mean, there are moments when Ian and I just had to hold back tears as we were working on this song, because it really forces us to look in the mirror at ourselves and how we love and how we give and how we express genuine love to each other. And is it that we only do this at Christmas time? And there's a call to us to not just love this way at Christmas time, but express this level of love, this genuine love all
Yes.
throughout the year.
We
All
have
throughout the
to,
year.
all throughout the
Yes.
year. But at Christmas, more people tend to be able to do it, especially when it comes to children. Maya Daniel, Ian Boyce, I want to thank you both for joining us. I wish your songs all the success possible. Go out there, download, buy, folks, because we're supporting Barbadians, we're supporting lovely voices, and we're supporting the music industry as a whole. And Bajans have to take that place on this stage with it. Thank you for joining us this morning. Morning Barbados will take a break, and we'll be right back.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's coming up to that time, but tomorrow we'll be back right here on Morning Barbados with some excitement. We're going to be having our conversation with CARICOM Ambassador David Commichon. He will be here, the CARICOM Ambassador. We will also be having a look at another book, the next chapter. It will be a medical student turned poet and author. And also somebody that I love with their engine room, Trinidadian soca artist, Olatunji. Yes, we'll have that and lots more on Morning Barbados. So folks, do enjoy the rest of your day. It's been great starting your morning with you. I'm Wendy Burke.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.